Welcome back to the process. We don't react, we reload. If you're new here, here's the deal. Most pods give takes, we give scripts. Most pods name players, we give usage, matchup, and correlation to stuff that will actually help you win. We blend film with the stats that matter. We forecast instead of panic. And we sweat the entire slate together like responsible degenerates. Time for us to learn, scout, win, and repeat. All right, let's hop right into it. And we got to set the table. Some weeks the NFL feels like football. This week felt like trying to install IKEA furniture during an earthquake. We had the right reads, and then half the league woke up and said, what if we just did it? What if we just didn't do that? But that's the beauty of this show. We don't react, we reload, as I said. So let's walk through the carnage in order. Jaguars showing a heart I didn't know they had. Jacksonville came out with a level of fight I hadn't seen from them all year. Not fluky, but lucky. Just real grown man football. Credit where it's due. They earned that one, I should say. Carolina, the Falcons, the two teams playing a game called Who Are We, essentially. Carolina went full chaos mode. Tataria McMillan, straight nuclear, just to spite me, because I went against them in Would You Rather last week. Bryce Young had a career day, nearly 400 yards in the air, dragged Leggett along the way too, 83 yards and a tutty. And then when we circle back later in the slate, nothing changes. Neither of these teams has any consistency. Rico Dowdle cashed our touchdown, our anytime touchdown. Bless him. We appreciate that. But everything else was a trust exercise and confusion. And Kirk Cousins didn't look right when he came in. Falcons didn't know who they were. Panthers didn't know who they were. And the NFC South continues to look like a division made entirely of just straight vibes every week. No extra information learned, just paperwork and helmets. All right. Falcons passing game, Penix and London stack. We played that. We absolutely had the right script. Penix had 175 passing yards before leaving with the injury. Once he exited, Atlanta went full hide the backup mode, as we talked about with Cousins. London was fine, but without Penix, no ceiling, no tutty. Stack dead on arrival, wrong idea, wrong timeline. Packers playing to the level of the competition yet again. Same story, different week with these guys. Green Bay is the NFL's mood ring. They match whoever's across from them, for better or worse. Impossible team to handicap when identifying changes every quarter. Steelers, the Jaylen Warren pain game. Jaylen Warren leaves the game and Kenneth Gainwell gets the production. We dialed up for Warren. It's classic DFS pain in that one. We picked the right kitchen. Wrong chef. Script clean. Outcome dumb. Ravens, Browns. Beautiful chaos with the correct read. Let's take the victory lap first. Mark Andrews lining up under center and ripping a 35-yard rushing touchdown. The first rushing touchdown of his career. An outrageous, beautiful moment that helped our play cash. If you had Andrew props, you probably scared your neighbors. The rest, Lamar didn't look great. Browns defense delivered our $2,400 DFS play. Henry got 100 plus yards, but 40 of those came on that late jailbreak run, essentially. So, what do we infer from there? Baltimore needed a trick play just to serve. All right, and Sanders, look, in real time, I roasted him on the rewatch. Kid actually composed himself, used his legs, made some big throws, put a ball in the end zone that the receiver simply dropped. He did enough to win. The box score just didn't reflect. 49ers and the Cardinals. Script perfect, execution even louder. Christian McCaffrey took this game apart like it was his side hobby. Once San Francisco jumped out early, Arizona had the spam Brissett. 47 completions, an NFL record. McBride delivered. Michael Wilson smashed. Defense didn't have a prayer. We hit everything. Usage, run backs, game flow. It just played out even more extreme than expected. And Seahawks Rams, expected offense, got defense. We thought this was going to be a shootout. Instead, both defenses wrote the scripts. Seattle gave it up early, found themselves in a hole, clawed out of it, and then LA's defense kept slamming the door. Sam Darnold did Sam Darnold things, which is never a recommendation. And the Rams, they looked exactly like the division winners I've been telling you they are all year. Kyron Williams had more success than expected for me running the ball. Credit to him. Tampa Bay, Buffalo. We thought we were getting shootout with the Seahawks and the Rams. Instead, both defenses wrote that script. Seattle gave it up early, found themselves in the hole, clawed out of it. Oh, I'm sorry. We talked about that one already. Tampa Bay, Buffalo. We got to go on. The Tucker game. Trey Tucker gave us everything we wanted to line with the Rachaad White script. That one landed clean, but wrong dude. Commanders, Dolphins, Washington beat themselves. This was as much of a Commanders loss as it was a Dolphins win. Ollie Gordon, not Achane, got the goal line work. Just pure variance, being petty. Excuse me. Houston playing down to the competition. Texans came out flat, stay flat, made it weird. Right side, wrong style, ugly watch. Chiefs and Broncos. Denver said, not today. Not today. I had KC winning. I had the over. The universe had jokes. Denver's defense showed up with real answers. Mahomes couldn't find the extra gear, and the game never hit the pace the script suggested. We got the Kareem Hunt touchdown, but the rest, that's, no. So takeaways here. This wasn't a bad process week. This was a week where giant humans played a violent, unpredictable sport and made choices that ignored every piece of logic that we had. And that's the point. We walk out of week 11 with usage shifts we can trust, offensive lines revealing who they really are, defenses cracking or ascending, quarterbacks showing really, growth or real limits, coaches tipping their hands, players earning or losing roles, teams telling us who they want to be down the stretch here in the NFL season for 2025. We didn't get punched in the mouth because our process was wrong. I got punched in the mouth this week because the league is chaos wrapped in shoulder pads. So we breathe, I reset, and we reload armed with better information than we had last week. All right, with that, let's flow right into Would You Rather, a session where we go over some conundrums of the week. Guys, I go to fantasypros.com. They have, the opportunity for people to submit their conundrums in terms of, would I start this guy or would I start that guy? So we're just going to go through what I saw when I reviewed this weekend. All right. So first up, Alvin Kamara or Juwan Jennings. This one's probably razor close. Kamara gets Atlanta, soft front, winnable matchup. Jennings gets Carolina, also a good spot. But Purdy has 4 different ways to say, nah, dog, not you today. Kamara's path to touches is just way cleaner. So slight edge Kamara, very slight. Would you rather Romeo Doubs or Emmanuel Wilson? I'm going to say I would rather play Emmanuel Wilson this week. Volume with in a pass game script versus Green Bay in a run game script. Sean Tucker or Christian Watson this week. Look, Tucker's going to see some run. We know we're not getting Bucky Irving back, right? So Tucker's going to get some run. But the matchup isn't great. At least we know he'll touch the ball, though. Christian Watson is basically a Wi-Fi signal in a basement. You might get something, but probably not. So give me Tucker there. Dallas Goedert or Alec Pierce. Pierce has to go through the entire Chiefs secondary just to get noticed. Goddard has to go through Jalen Hurts just remembering he exists. I'll take the guy with the clearer path right here in that one. Give me Goddard this week, everybody. All right. Would you rather play David Montgomery or Michael Wilson this week? And I'm going to say Michael Wilson again as a pulse this week, but Montgomery is a legitimate opportunity to get a tutty, get cleanup yardage, because I expect the ground game for the Lions to be in play. So I'm going to take Monty over Wilson. Next up, would you rather Sean Tucker or Romeo Dobbs this week? And the thing is, Tucker should get real work, and so Dobbs is, fighting into a bad game script. It's kind of an obvious one, obviously, if you ask me. Tucker, as long as Bucky is out, which they've said he's out. So we'll do that. Would you rather Michael Pittman or Emmanuel Wilson this week against the Chiefs? Not great. Not great for Pittman. For Wilson, I think he can actually get the production through the air with Arizona against that Jacksonville secondary. But I expect Indianapolis to be trailing and therefore looking to be aggressive with the ball. And so I'm going to be very honest with you guys. I'm going to say Michael Pittman here. I didn't even consider him for DFS before this, but maybe I can now. I do think in this scenario, once I think through it after telling everything all week, that it's going to be it's not going to be Wilson from Arizona. It's going to be Pittman in that scenario right there, just because of the matchup. All right. Next up, would you rather Kareem Hunt or Alec Pierce? Goal line equity over hope and prayer routes. I'm going to take Kareem Hunt right there, especially now that hearing Pacheco's out. That was even before Pacheco was out. Aaron Jones or Michael Wilson this week. Michael Wilson, he needs things to go his way, whereas Aaron Jones just needs oxygen. He needs to be out there. Him over Mason. Give me Aaron Jones. Kamara or Alec Pierce this week? Look, sometimes the answer is just the guy getting touches. Give me Kamara. Zay Flowers or Emmanuel Wilson? The Jets shut down outside receivers, not guys like Flowers. But I will say this, I don't know how much they'll have to do. The Jets, they've been pretty good. I don't know if I'm Baltimore, why I would try to run the football with Henry, maybe try to get some passes into Andrews. The Jets are significantly softer against the tight end, so I will fade Flowers there and play Wilson. Chase Brown or Tatera McMillan. McMillan is the future. Chase Brown is the present. They're gonna have to run with him especially because Chase is suspended. But give me McMillan. I mean, Brown has not been effective largely in many weeks this year. But that's week 11, the edition of Would You Rather. Remember, it only takes one bad choice to ruin your week. So hopefully these help you avoid that particular brand of pain and keep rolling. And let's power straight through right along into this week's reload. Let's just get it popping. We got to talk about Thursday first. Bills at Texans. Houston 23, Buffalo 19. Buffalo is officially in everything is hard mode. When James Cook is your offense and Khalil Shakir is your wide receiver one, that's a prayer circle, not a passing attack. But Allen tried to play hero ball. Houston's aggressiveness on the back end forced the mistakes. The Texans are becoming that annoying team that you don't want to see on your schedule. Physical run game, disciplined defense, and they actually close games. Nico didn't even need to go nuclear. The structure carried that team. All right, on the Sunday slate, reload. Steelers at the Bears. Chicago's offense is in that weird place where Caleb can move, but the rest of the group sometimes looks like they're running in sand. For seasonal, you're still playing Swift. For DFS, I'm going to lean Caleb and a pass catcher. Obviously, if you've got a Dunze, that's great, but I'm even interested down the line to Luther Burden. That includes DJ Moore this week. Not the run game. That's not the way you want to attack Pittsburgh's defense, who can still scrap. So yeah, as I said, DJ Moore still in play, even if it hurts your soul to hear it. On the Steelers side, this whole matchup is don't overthink it. Chicago bleeds efficiency on the ground and through the air. Jaylen Warren is the anchor. And even if it's Mason Rudolph again, it still works for Metcalf and company. I think it's going to be Rodgers, though. But Washington as a cheap tight end, punt doesn't seem, crazy at all. I'm a Chicago guy, born and raised, and even I'm taking the Steelers on the road here this week. The matchup just tilts that way. That's what we're going to edge the competition this week. Steelers, reload. Colts at the Chiefs. Kansas City at home is always a get-right spot. Last week's road miss, I'm not going to say expected because we had them winning, but this seems more obvious, if that makes sense. Structure and control. Colts are much tougher against the run, so temper expectation for Kareem Hunt, but we know Pacheco's not in the picture. So Hunt gets a little bit of a boost, even though the competition is stiff, because we know that he should be the future guy. And he also has that goal line role. So, that's something to be considered, although this game gets handled through the air, in my opinion. Mahomes is in the leverage spot, the improv, the legs, the ability to avoid collapse. If you want a Kansas City piece, that's his name, Patrick Mahomes. Colts offense, they're running into a wall. Kansas City's defense is too fast for Jonathan Taylor to find consistent space, and Daniel Jones isn't beating the secondary outside structure. Kansas City, I think, squeezes the game and wins comfortably, you could even say. I'll take the Chiefs there. Patriots at the Bengals. This one is simple. Cincinnati can now run the football. Chase Brown is a hard fade, and with Jamar Chase suspended, the offense will force volume to T. Higgins, I assume, and Andre Iosivas. Flacco or Burrow doesn't matter. The ball's going to fly, and it's probably going to be Flacco. But Flacco and Iosivas, that seems like a play to me. Higgins doesn't play also. New England, every matchup is favorable. The Bengals are bottom tier across the board. Run, pass, red zone. Trevion Henderson is squarely in play. Drake May in play. Stephon Diggs, cash game floor. The Bengals are trending toward draft scouting mode. New England should win this outright. Reload. Let me get the Patriots. Jets at the Ravens. The Jets offense is basically a meditation on pain. Doesn't matter if it's Tyrod Taylor or Justin Fields. It's the same plot. Breece Hall is the only playable Jet, and even that's a be brave click. The Ravens, for their side, this is a Lamar plus Henry season. So, that's what we're looking at. Jets are elite versus wide receivers, but soft versus running backs. Lamar can break this game with his legs alone, and then you got Henry right there also. So if I got Henry in season, I feel good about that. Baltimore's defense is an auto play. They should feast. Pick Ravens. Reload. Seahawks at Titans. Titans defend the pass better than the run, which funnels Seattle straight into what they want to do anyway, run the football. Kenneth Walker plus Zach Charbonnet. Control the clock. Limit Sam Darnold's chaos. Lean into defensive advantage. Seattle's defense is firmly in place. Tennessee's offense is a flat line unless they steal a big play. Let me get the Seahawks in that one. Reload. Vikings at the Packers. This is a matchup where the identity of each team defines the pick. Green Bay wants to run the ball behind Josh Jacobs, and the matchup is perfect. Minnesota is much sturdier against the pass than the run. Minnesota also needs to win through the air, but they're running into Green Bay defense that basically is heating up, and the pass rush can absolutely get to McCarthy. Bad matchup, bad setup, wrong week. Green Bay's defense plus Jacobs is the winning formula. Let me go ahead and get the Packers in that one. Reload. Giants at the Lions. Detroit gets everything they want here. Giants get nothing they want here. The Lions defense is the play, full stop. Offensively, Detroit doesn't need to push. They can be balanced. They can be controlled, efficient, cash floor type week for the Lions skill guys, not nuclear ceiling. The Giants can't stop the run, can't stop the pass, can't stay on schedule, can't stop the funk, can't stop the boogie. Easy call. Lions this week. Reload. Jaguars at Cardinals. The Travis Etienne play here this week. Game script plus matchup plus volume. Jacksonville's passing game is muy ugly right now, but Parker Washington is your sneaky DFS value glue guy. Jacoby Myers, that's your tournament dart right there. Arizona, they'll have to throw. They can't run here at all. Brissett is playable if you hate yourself. The wide receivers matter, especially if Marvin Harrison Jr. suits up. This is a Jags control of the game. Cards chase the late script. Pick here for me has to be the Jaguars. Browns at the Raiders. Ugly game, defensive trench warfare. Cleveland's defense is top 3 in football. Vegas's offense is the opposite of explosive, and Geno Smith isn't surviving this matchup behind that offensive line. Browns defense is expensive but viable. Vegas defense should bounce back, but not enough to flip the game. Cleveland's offense won't look pretty, but Sanders' legs gets them just enough juice. Let me get the Browns right here. Reload. Falcons at the Saints. This division is a coin flip every week. New Orleans, best path is, through the run. Kamara plus Taysom Hill, not explosive, but not using them, if you will. Falcons should also lean run. Ambajan is the only Falcon I trust. Passing game is just too volatile. Low scoring, grindy, ugly. Let me go ahead and get Falcons. Barely. Let's say barely. Reload. Eagles at the Falcon or Cowboys. Eagles at Cowboys. Eagles defense equals legit. Cowboys defense equals fraudulent. So this becomes simple. Cowboy side. Javonte Williams is viable. Pickens is viable. Lamb seasonal only. Dak is fine, but expensive. On the Eagles side of things, they have no passing offense right now. So it's Saquon plus Hurts. That's it. Eagles can bully the matchup if they stay patient. Let me get the Eagles here. Reload. Buccaneers at the Rams, Sunday Night Football. This might be the sneaky game of the week. Bucs side, they'll struggle running. So it's Amika Buka for safety volume. Ted Johnson for tournaments. On the Rams side of things, this is a Stafford past first week. Nakua's in play. Devonta Smith is in play. Kyron Williams has outside zone path, but is more touchdown dependent. Rams at home with the better defense and with this, and they win this one. So give me the Rams. And we'll take our final shot right now and reload. Panthers at 49ers, Monday Night Football. Fun showdown setup. Cardinals passing game is quietly improving. McMillan, Sterling, even Leggett in deep formats. Rico Dowdle firmly in play, but this is still the San Francisco's Niners game. CMC is the slate. Jennings is your cheap dart. Defense is vulnerable, so this could shoot out a bit, but home field plus trench strength makes the difference. I'm going to take the 49ers. All right. Those are our picks for this week. For reload, hopefully that helps you guys understand and have a better idea of where you may go this week if you have some game script information that you need fit in. All right, quick timeout. Let's show some love to some folks over at Fraction. Look, half the teams that I talk to every week have the same problem. Hiring is hard, managing is harder, and nobody has the time or the budget, for that matter, to chase mediocre talent. That's literally why Fraction exists. They plug in senior US-based engineers, PMs, growth folks, part-time, fractional, exactly when you need them. No drama, no hand-holding, no mystery offshore hours, just legit operators who get dropped into your team like veterans into a playoff locker room. You need someone to fix your delivery pipeline, build that AI feature. Own growth for a quarter, Fraction has the bench. You get the output without adding a full-time salary to the books. If you're running a dev shop, a startup, an e-commerce brand, whatever, and you're tired of guessing who's doing what, Fraction even built DevHawk, a real-time productivity cockpit that shows you commits, PR, story points, all the receipts. So no more, I think our team is working. Now you know. So if you want senior talent without the hiring hangover, or you want to actually measure the team you already have, go to hirefraction.com or hit the link in the show notes. Tell them Ralph sent you. They will take care of you. All right, that back to our show notes here. Let's go over some housekeeping, if we will. Let's do that. That makes sense for us here. Little session where we're going to tidy up some things here. So here are the plays I actually have this week. And start off with Travis Kelce over 53.5 receiving yards. Kansas City has to attack Indy through the air. This is the soft spot. Mid 50s is too low. Volume alone should clear this. Christian McCaffrey, anytime touchdown. I mean, this is the freest square that they posted in a minute. Panthers getting bullied by receiving backs, gap schemes. This is what CMC does in his sleep. Stephon Diggs, anytime touchdown. Cincinnati is bottom 10 against wide receiver ones, and Drake May basically has eyes only for Diggs, so we love that spot. Jonathan Taylor, anytime touchdown. Kansas City soft in the red zone. If Indy scores, it's him. Simple as that. Derrick Henry, anytime touchdown. Jets are a pass funnel, but give it up inside the 5. Baltimore uses Henry at the goal line, 1 yard hammer spot. We'll take Henry. Anytime touchdown. Drake May this week, guys, under 30.5 passing attempts. New England wants to protect them. Cincinnati's pressure shortens drives. Fewer attempts, more sacks and scrambles. Sneaky sharp under with that one. Derrick Henry over 0.5 rushing and receiving touchdowns. Yes, this is the same logic, and yes, it is doubling down. The usage says it. Jonathan Taylor over 0.5 rushing and receiving touchdowns. So same cap. If Indy is competitive at all, Taylor is scoring. All right, Stephon Diggs over 9.5 first quarter receiving yards. 1 catch. That's all it takes for Diggs. 1 catch. Since he gives these up on scripted drives. Lions money line. No need to galaxy brain it here. Giants don't travel. Detroit's defense plays up at home. This is chalk. Stephon Diggs over 0.5 first quarter receptions. And again, 1 catch. You basically betting the offense doesn't melt on the first drive, which seems pretty likely. Derrick Henry over 0.5 touchdowns. This is the 3rd Henry exposure, and I do not regret any of them. Jaylen Warren over 60.5 rushing yards. Bears can't tackle. Steelers should lean run, and Warren only needs 1 long to threaten his number. I love that one. DJ Moore over 2.5 receptions. Kalen's going to have to throw it. Moore's baseline usage is there. 3 catches, even on bad days. Caleb Williams under 32.5 passing attempts. This correlates with the Warren over. Bears try to stay balanced. Steelers slow pace. The card under is the play. Those are my bets for this week, guys. Ride them, fade them, tweak them. But hey, that's what I've got locked in for week 12, and I've now shared it with you guys. So again, Kelce over, CMC touchdown, Diggs love, Henry season, Warren over, Caleb under, Lions money line. We're locked in. But that's housekeeping for week 12. Let's win some damn money. All right, everybody. That's going to do it for this episode of The Process. As always, trust your reads, trust your work, and don't panic on Monday morning. Huge thanks for riding with me today. If the show helped you think sharper, subscribe, drop a rating, share it with other responsible degenerates in your circle. Now go set your lineups, place your slips, and reclaim that custody of your bankroll. Good luck this week. Be smart, build sharp, and as always, let's go ahead and do what we do best. Learn, scout, win, and repeat, and we'll hold them up back here next week. Peace.
My daddy killed this beat.